Welcome to another stock market update. Today is November 26, 2017. Hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving and all relaxed and ready to get back into the market next week. Let's take a look at the indexes. As you can see, even on a holiday shortened week, the market did able to close at new all-time high here on some of the major market indexes such as S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, NASDAQ Composite, and the Russell 2000. The Dow Jones Industrial did not close at a all-time high on a shortened trading day Friday. And if we take a look at the VIX actually made a new low. Last week it hit a new low of 8.56. So I kind of got to be careful for a potential spike up here, and we could be setting up for a little bit of a pullback. I think the market is getting too complacent, so gotta be careful on that. And let's quickly run through the cash index on an individual basis. Taking a look at the New York Composite on a weekly basis, you can see that it got a nice green candle and closed on an uptick for the week. And the Dow Jones Transportation also closed on an uptick, although it is still a little bit distant from the all-time high, but it is trying to make a turn back upwards, so gotta be careful on that. Keep an eye on that. And the Dow Jones Industrial also got an up week after a little bit of a spinning top the previous week. And the S&P 500, like we said earlier, it made an all-time high, closed at a new all-time high. And the NASDAQ 100 as well, and the Russell 2000. And see the Russell 2000, although we saw this little pullback, remember we were saying that it was still on the upper half of the channel. And as you can see, once it start snapping back and broke to its previous all-time high, and it just pretty solid, making a run to a new all-time high. And then here's the NASDAQ Composite. So that's basically the index, and we're going to take a look at the FANG stock. Okay, before we proceed in looking at the FANG stock, let's just kind of take a look at some of the ETF on the index ETF. First is the SPY. As you can see that the SPY made do the this bounced off this price zone and got into the all-time high here. It came off, bouncing off this zone and move up, took out the high, the previous all-time high, and then set up a new price zone right now. So basically looking for this thing to continue to move up to the possibility of 261.99, this 300% extension here. And if it pull back, then we can see if it pull back below this 259.50 area, then we probably could see it maybe come back down to this range and get into testing this price zone at 256.29 area in that vicinity. But right now, it seems like we could see a little bit of a pullback and test at 259.83. This upper edge here on this price zone, and then make another bounce. So just kind of have to keep an eye on this. And if we come back into this price zone, there might be a good opportunity to take a look at maybe some short-term swing long here. Okay, so that's the SPY. And looking at the Q, similarly on the Q, as you can see, the Q just kind of pushed right to. So right now, essentially, we're basically looking at this little bit of a flag extension, and possibly looking at this 141. So it's basically at the 156.41 area, and it's getting pretty close at that right now. So might want to keep an eye on a potential pullback into this zone, and let's see what it gives us a opportunity of a little bit of a check and bounce on this zone here, and set up some sort of a short-term swing long up to maybe possibly to the 157.86. But if it come down and unable to bounce through this zone, then we're probably looking for this thing to pull back to this 153 area. And then on the Russell 2000, Okay, the oops, let me get the IWM. So take a look at the IWM here. As you can see that it pushed through to a new all-time high and kind of got a little bit pullback here on Thursday and Friday here. So we're going to see would it be able to hold this zone and then get a little bit of a continuation bounce here and possibly get back, push toward this 200 extension at this 154.38. And if come to this zone and unable to hold this zone, then if it's start retracing through this range, then we'll probably be looking for this thing to come back down to maybe possibly retest this 145.36. So we'll see how this thing hold up. So that's basically the ETF for the indexes. And taking a look at the FANG stock, let's first start off with the Facebook. And as you can see on Facebook here, we see this thing came up, right? Came to this this range into this zone, and it came up and test the all-time high, and right now basically putting in a new all-time high here. Okay, so we want to see would it be able to break through this zone and move up to this 186.95 area, this 141 extension here. And if it's unable to break through this zone, we're basically looking for a retracement back, possibly back down to this 177.35 area into this price zone. Okay, but looks like there's a good chance this thing will maybe push through, maybe push through this price zone and get up to this 186.95 or 187 area. So anything is possible. We just kind of keep an eye on that, because you can see that it's basically testing this area here. So, and let's see, the next one is Apple. Gonna take a look at Apple here. As you can see, Apple came to this price zone, snapped back, and moved toward the this all-time high, although it did not get there on Friday because of it kind of got a little bit of a spinning top right at the edge of the zone here. So we'll probably keep an eye on this to see would it be able to push through this zone, because if we reverse back down from here into this zone here, then essentially this thing is putting in a lower high. Then we got to be watchful for this this low here to see would it come down and get below this pivot low. If that's the case, then essentially put in a lower high, a lower low, and that is not good. Then we'll probably be looking at Apple come retracing back down to this 165 area, this particular zone here, and maybe retest the mid channel. Okay, but if it pushed through this zone here, then we're basically looking for this thing to possibly push up to this 180.72 at this 200% extension. And here's the upper channel trend line somewhere around this 178. And looking at Amazon, Amazon has continued to push through into a new high, and you can see on Friday it's just very bullish on Friday, just kind of more like a straight up type of move here, although it's a abbreviated trading session. So we're basically looking for Amazon to see could it clear this zone and move up here to the 1195. Then maybe we could get a little bit of a retracement, and then chop around in the zone and build some acceptance here on the on the price, the volume. So we're going to keep an eye on Amazon to see could it be able to push through this zone and come up and tag this 1195. Okay. And then the next one is Netflix. Netflix is also coming back up, trying to make do this, get back to this trend line here. And if it could get to this trend line and work itself up to this, back to this zone here, then essentially it, invalidate this this lower high here. Okay, because right now it's basically working on a lower high, lower low, and if this thing reverses back down to this price zone here, then we basically just have a another lower high and a lower low type of a zigzag on a downward. Then we'll probably be looking for Netflix to come back down and possibly get into this this price zone here at this 173.78. But if we could push through up to this zone here, then there's a good chance that it could take out or retest the all-time high and possibly push through to the next level somewhere around 208.35 here at this 161.8 extension. Okay, and finally on the FANG stock is Google. Google is also making itself back up to near the its all-time high level. It's coming back into this price zone. It needs to clear this pivot high here. Okay, so it will put in a sort of a higher high, then kind of retest the all-time high and see could it put in a new all-time high. But if we reverse back down here and found some resistance at this zone, then we could see this thing possibly retrace back down to this 1022.37 area, and we have to still be mindful of this gap here, that it could come down and fill this gap and work through its range and get back down to this level here below 1,000 at 981 level. Okay, so that's the FANG stock. Let's take a look at some extra notable stock that we've been sort of following. One is Tesla. And looking at Tesla is getting a little bit of a bounce. Right? So, but unable to get up to this zone yet. So we have to keep an eye on it to see would it be able to work through this range and get back up to the zone and break through it. If it can't get up to this range and work itself back down to the lower price zone, then down at the 294 area, then we could see Tesla have a possibility of breaking down and come down to this 240-ish area here. Okay, but if it could break through this zone here, then it could potentially work itself back up and invalidate this sort of like a double top here. Okay, and retest this all-time high. And the other one that we've been looking at was Twitter. And Twitter, again, basically saying that after its earning on the post-earning move and the pullback been pretty strong, and you can see that it is getting into that gap fill area here, okay, on Twitter, because it broke through that zone. So we're essentially coming up to this gap fill area. All right, so we're gonna keep an eye on that, because Twitter is still got seems to have a lot of momentum here. Although it got a little bit of a hangman doji on Friday, so we kind of see how it's gonna handle at this hedge. Is it gonna just test this zone here a little bit, this lower edge, and then make a push to fill that gap and get up to the 2387 area. Okay. So that's basically what we're looking at for Twitter. Okay. So, and let's what other one? Alibaba. Right, let's take a look at Alibaba here. Zoom this in, so you can see Alibaba came to this zone here and made a put in a new all-time high, and it looks like it is all still has some more momentum on the upside. And if we break through this zone here, get above this 191.81, basically you're looking at the possibility of maybe it come up to this 1618, somewhere around 194.66. Okay, and let's see the other one that we want to look at. Got a couple one might be of interest. One is SunPower. Okay, you might want to take a look at, keep an eye on SunPower. And it bounced off of this low here on this zone, came up, and then kind of got a pullback, and essentially pulled back to Fibonacci of 50% or so, and also it's bouncing off of this price zone here. So you might want to keep an eye on this, or a little bit of a swing long, and watch the play for the swing back up to this price zone here, up at somewhere around, what's that, 1019, 1020 area. Okay, so might want to keep an eye on that. All right, that's basically SunPower. And the other one is a couple oil energy related stock. One is Marathon Oil. Okay, so take a look at Marathon Oil. You can see that Marathon Oil also been fairly strong in the last couple months. Since the bottom here, you can see this little bit of a double bottom, and then kind of trending up, and also putting in a little bit of a consolidation period down here. Then it pushes through, right, and back up close to this pivot high here, but unable to get up to the zone here, and then pull back. And on this pullback, it pull back and check this this price zone here. So and right now it's kind of bouncing off this price zone and into the upper price zone, the zone above here. So if it pull back one more time, then you might want to take a look at the possibility of a swing long back up. Okay, but be careful on how far it's going to pull back, because it could be putting in a lower high and lower low if it dip below here and it doesn't come back up quickly. Okay, so ideally what we'd like to see is maybe push through the zone and then come back in. So essentially you want to see this thing push through the zone and then come back in, and then we get in here, somewhere around here, and then put in a stop right beneath that. And that would also pretty close in the confluence with this trend line here, and that will give us a good all in all, and you know, swing it back up here, and basically playing for a tag of this particular pivot high here, right, and possibly work through the zone and get back into, you know, maybe you know, possibly get up to this high here. But right now essentially it's looking pretty good. We basically just kind of keep an eye for some setup here, you know, to catch some long. And the other one is DVN. Okay, this one is also interesting, similarly to the price action on Marathon Oil. Right, so you can see that it bounced off of this price zone and found a little resistance, came back down, and right now is you know, bouncing off of this, you know, checking this price zone again. So once again, you know, if you see the price move up to this zone, then essentially you could, you know, maybe look for a possibility to go long here and put a stop down here, because essentially you want to look at for something of going up there and take out this pivot high and work through this price zone and maybe possibly come back up to this 41.47. Okay, so those are some ideas. And now let's take a look at a couple financial stock. Let's take a look at Bank of America. And here at Bank of America, the financial is still a little bit weak. Still waiting for a little bit of a turn. And you can see Bank of America came up and found some resistance at this price zone, and it's kind of, you know, turning back down here. So we got to keep an eye on this. If it cannot reverse back and get above this zone and try to work into this this price zone, there's a good chance that it could come back down and retest this 26 area. Okay, and you know, Goldman hasn't been acting too well. Also, you can see that it's still in this range here. It's just chopping around. So we need to see, will Goldman Sachs be able to bounce off this this zone here and work itself back up to this upper zone and possibly push through it. But if it comes down to this zone and break it, then you know, we could see it roll down to this 216 area, and that would put a little pressure on the financial. And same thing if we take a look at JP Morgan. Okay, and JP Morgan, that came down, it bounced off this zone, and right now it's hitting this price zone here, so kind of reversing back down. So we want to see, would it be able to, you know, be able to push through and make it up to the zone here, you know, essentially put in a higher high. Then there's a good, if it could get through this zone, then there's a good possibility we could see the financial participating in the next rally and push the market up to another new all-time high as it you know, retests its recent all-time high here on JP Morgan. Okay, so basically that is it for right now, and hopefully you are, you know, doing well on your trading and also enjoying some quality time with your family or your loved one during the holiday season. And good luck on your trading. And if you find this video useful or informative, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. And if you are not a subscriber to my video, YouTube video channel, click the subscribe button and subscribe to my video channel. Thank you very much, and good luck on your trading.